Yes. Welcome to Satsang. And welcome everyone who's joining us online around the world today. This morning, I think at 7 o'clock was full moon. I'm smiling because this bird that is nesting on the top of this pillar, he is so sweet. He nests where most people pass underneath. And it seems that the animals here are kind of very strange. So this bird nests here, and he's kind of shouting at everyone that comes too near. And he keeps chasing away the black ravens, and the black ravens are 10 times as big as the little wagtail, but the little guy just chases them away. And on the steps down here, I think it was yesterday or day before yesterday, there was we have many water dragons, so there was this water dragon that made a big hole in the middle of the staircase, and he was laying eggs, one after the other, I don't know how many. I stayed for a while, I left when there were 3. And when I came back, so the eggs must be under the gravel. Now I missed to tell you when you leave or when you come to walk very much on that side, because otherwise we smash the eggs probably. Hopefully not. Maybe the water dragon was intelligent enough, but they really want to be where we are. Maybe it's just my interpretation, but I like it. So what does that have to do with full moon? I don't know. But when the moon is full and then changes again, this morning I met a good friend on the lighthouse walk, and she told me that this is a time where we are not so efficient, and we really need to take a lot of time to relax and rest. And not take it personal when we are not so efficient. And I really like that, because, what is the purpose of satsang, really? It's not to become anything. It's not to get anywhere. It's not to achieve anything. It's, you don't get a star or a prize when you come. We are not looking for any goal. So what's the purpose? In a way, it is the same thing. The purpose is to stop. The stopping, we remember something that is way beyond the mind, which is who we truly are. Without the stopping, the mind will just continue to play its own play of light and shadow, which is beautiful. I mean, life is so beautiful. And yet when we stop for a moment, and we don't follow the course of mind, the course of thought, the course of feeling, the course of story, the course of whatever defines us, then something really important happens, that that cannot be taught, but it can be discovered. How to say this? It reminds me when Tantra, when we are totally receptive, which means when we are not trying to direct our life, which is very scary for those of us who love control, who love to be in power, who love to be the doer. When we actually stop and rest, then we become receptive. What I heard Osho say is like any path that all these seekers take to get enlightened, and many more men actually have been on that journey than women, because men are more, forgive me, more in their mind as women. No? So they have created all these devices and all these actions to get to something that we are already. Isn't that strange? And what I heard Osho say, which really kind of strikes me again and again, the path of action, which is yoga, the path of unity, can only take you to the door. The last step is always Tantra. And what he describes as Tantra is the total receptivity to the total non-doing, the total surrender to that which is already the case. Now everything that is already the case. The only trouble is that our mind has so many opinions about everything. Because without an opinion, without a label, would not exist as a separate person. So the mind is the trickster that somehow makes us believe we are a separate person that we have to defend. And that is, of course, now very, very obvious with the COVID-19 situation around the world, that almost everyone is in panic, in confusion, in not knowing, in suffering, in all sorts of survival states, because not so many people look in or actually stop and inquire what is here, when I don't give energy to any story that takes me away from here. And then, of course, we have preferences how this is presented. Some of us like Eckhart Tolle, some of us like Moji or Punjaji, some of us like Osho, some of us like Buddhism or the Tao. It doesn't matter, but all these so-called teachings are not teachings. They are pointers to that which is here. So as I'm concerned with Satsang, I love the Satsang for many reasons. One reason is we don't go anywhere. We suddenly all drop into here. And isn't that so sweet? Isn't that so, in a way, tender, because we're not forcing anything, we're not trying anything. We're just receiving the presence of each other, and that makes the presence stronger. Can you relate to that? Is that, or is that just me? Yeah. And now the moment we bring it into words, of course, it's not quite true anymore. But in a way, everyone here, every one of us, and everyone around the world that actually dares to stop for a moment taps into this Sangha field. And since we are all energy beings, there may be a little hope that when this energy of presence, of spaciousness, of beingness, of consciousness kind of trickles into all these little gaps that appear in different places because people don't know anymore what to do. Maybe awakening can happen on a huge scale. I don't know. So what does Osho mean with the last step of awakening is Tantra? It is, he calls it the feminine path. Masculine path is the path of action, of discipline, of meditation, 10 hours a day sitting in vipassana. That's, the male is very happy with this stuff. But the last step is always a surrender to the total existence, which means the last step is feminine. The first time I heard him say that, my male identification was very upset. I said, what about me? I'm a man. But I understand a little bit more what he means by being feminine is what is a very, very good exercise for couples when they make love. That not only the woman becomes receptive or is receptive, but also the man becomes receptive. And in that receptivity, love naturally appears. When we don't argue anymore with what is, when we are totally open to what is, then we are kind of like the sky, and the sky has no opinion about what appears in the sky. The clouds appear, thunderstorms appear, disappears, wind appears, disappears. Sunshine appears, disappears. It's all happening in space, in the sky. The analogy that who we are as consciousness is like the sky. The first book I ever read from Osho, actually it wasn't from Osho, I found out that Osho had the same book. The first book was from Lama Anagarika Govinda, My Way, The Way of the White Cloud. Anybody has read that? It was a kind of a classic in 1980 or something. Yes?
The Way of the what?
My Way, The Way of the White Cloud. And that was also one of Osho's first book that I read. And I was astonished. I hear the same title. What does that mean? I'm not a white cloud. Well, maybe I'm the sky, and there's white clouds moving. And the white clouds don't have footprints, they don't have a past, they appear and they disappear in what? In me. So at least from my side, this is why we are here. To leave the clouds, to allow the clouds to do what they want to do, and to remember the sky. So all the pointers are basically pointing towards that which is here, which is this, which which is the space, which is the energy field. And even though we have a body, it is so, and we have a mind, it is so relaxing, so comforting, so tender to just be here. Just before you came, I tuned into Arasoma, and the blue sky came. El Moria. El Moria is a quintessence, a light blue, you can hardly see it, a light blue quintessence that represents. El Moria is a master, and his key words are, "Thy will be done." You know, the words from Jesus just after he has struggled with God, and God didn't take him down the cross. And then he became actually the Christ when he surrendered and said, "Okay, thy will be done." Excuse me. So what does that mean for us? If we understand that no matter how much we think it's my will, there's always a bigger cooperation, and then things happen, or there is no cooperation and we can bang against the wall and nothing happens, because my will is in opposition to the big will. And eventually, when we realize that there is only thy will, we can perhaps relax more. Because thy, what is thy? It's not somebody out there. It is our deepest nature, our deepest potential base to express itself through this body-mind. Shall we try this? It's a very beautiful essence. So for those of you who have not been here when I shared Arasoma, you're gonna, for the quintessence, you're gonna receive 3 drops on your wrist. And it's a fragrance, and it's made out of crystals and gems and herbs and essential oils, and it carries a vibration. So when you receive it, you can tune into that vibration of your inner vastness, of your inner space that can contain any experience. Why can we say this? Anything we experience, for example, Greg is not here anymore. No? Greg, and I asked Greg, "How are you?" And he said, "Oh, today I'm not so good. I cracked a tooth." No? Now, inside that story, we could say, "Oh, poor man, you know, it hurts and you need to take painkillers and you need to respond to the bodily needs." But if we investigate a little bit deeper, who or what is aware of cracking the teeth? That is who he really is. And that has no pain. And that is overlooked most of the time, because we are identified with the experience rather than with that which is aware of the experience. And the moment there's awareness, we see that thy will has already happened. Each moment. Does that make sense? If not totally, that's okay. I'm just trying to put into words what is difficult to put into words. So let's try this. If you could make your left wrist available. Get 2 drops of ammonia. Onto your left wrist, and then your receiving hand. Close your eyes. And tune into that frequency about arasoma is kind of, it touches all the senses, no? The sense of smell, the sense of touch, the sense of visual, the color. Just not the sense of taste. And you can raise your arms high above the head. Imagine you turning your arms into wings, growing from the core of your spine to your fingertips. And then you can allow your wings to open and close above the crown. Crossing over at the midline of the body, integrating the left and the right side. And the opening, just imagine you're opening your crown to the whole universe. And in the embrace, recognizing and embracing the inner universe that is connected through the crown. And a good way to remember is that guidance that we share right now. You can allow your wings open around your third eye, your forehead center. And here we carry all our identifications. Now just imagine that you open the curtain of your projections, and there's nothing except vast space behind the curtain. And in the embrace, you embrace the capacity to see reality as it is, without labeling, without judging, without commenting, just seeing what is. That is choiceless awareness. It's here, just closer to you. And then opening your wings around your throat. In the opening, releasing or opening the curtain of all our beliefs, because our beliefs create our identity. And when you investigate deep enough, you will find that every belief is not true. It's just this belief. So in the embracing that unknown, that not knowing in the throat, that is the source of all creativity and all truth and all expression of truth. So each opening is really like, almost like we draw the curtain, we can look closer behind the curtain into ourselves. Now opening your wings around the heart, drawing the curtain of all our shoulds and should nots, all these ideals that we carry, that we have been conditioned to hold. And in the embrace, we can embrace our innocence, the innocent, open heart. And allow your wings to rest over your heart for a moment. Receiving the vibration of El Moria deep in the silence of the heart. And here we could say, in the depths is what we call the empty heart, the inner sky. And then we can open the wings and embracing the solar plexus. In the opening, we can release or open the curtain of all our strategies and defenses, our whole armor that tends to protect ourselves. the armor of comparison, of competition, of judgments, of blame, of inferiority, of superiority. All these power trips are simply a protection, and underneath is revealed our absolute uniqueness. There's no one like you in the whole universe. Then opening your wings around the second chakra, the belly. In the opening, we can open all our emotional holdings, traumas, wounds, childhood stories. And in the embrace, we can embrace our open sensitivity, where every sense has space to experience, so that we eventually find the real source of every experience, which is the inner emptiness. And then opening your wings around the first chakra, embracing this body as your temple. It's amazing that in this lifetime consciousness has chosen a body to express and experience itself, or the divine has found a body. Along the legs, all the way down, connecting with Mother Earth. And this is a good moment to let go of everything that we found we can brush aside in this little ritual. All identities, all beliefs, all ideals, all protective mechanisms, all emotional pain, just letting it go. Just give it back to the earth. So for a moment we are completely empty. And what is left when we are empty is our true existence. Now, when we come up, unwinding your wings around each other in a backward spiral, symbolically unwinding the residues of the holding fibers of the mind to create a little bit more space until we stand for a moment open. Feet deep in the earth, wings high in the sky. And then you can bring your palms together and your wrists close to your nostrils, taking 3 deep breaths of this fragrance into the temple of the body. Since we are already in the gesture of Namaste, should perhaps share the Namaste with friends here. That recognition of that which is behind the eyes. And perhaps you find that whatever you see is looking back at yourself. Namaste. Then we can sit. Today Steve ornamented our beautiful candle with a very significant flower. I don't know if you know this flower. It's called yesterday, today, tomorrow. It's funny, no? Because it's just here now. But because everything changes in a period, yesterday, today, tomorrow, changes. I don't know which one is first. I think it starts with white and then it becomes pink and then it becomes really a dark color. Or is it vice versa? Anybody knows that? It starts white first. No? Only the mind can give such a name. Only the illusion of yesterday. There is no yesterday. There is only now. There's no tomorrow. There's only now. Now is a flowering. The amazing thing is that it's all happening at the same time. Today on the Male market, I was sharing with somebody, which we all have. You know, we are all getting older, and if we look from the mind, we see that the body ages. But if we look a little bit deeper, nothing ever ages. Do you have that? I mean, I think we talked about it a few times in Satsang, that something in us is all, since we can think. Not yesterday, today, tomorrow. It's always now. So I want to dedicate the light of the candle today to no mind. Why not go directly there? Which is now. Okay. Are we ready to sit a little bit? Yeah. So close your eyes. I just guide a little bit at the beginning, and then we're just going to sit for a while. Just be here. Remember that in meditation we're not going anywhere, we're not looking for anything. We're just here. We just allow everything to be as it is. Here, when you think of language, and we say, I allow everything to be as it is. What is this I that can allow? It must be something that is really limitlessly vast. It must be something that doesn't have a name. I allow everything to be as it is. So at the beginning of a meditation, sometimes it's helpful to pay attention to the sensory experiences, even though they keep changing. Like, without looking at yesterday or tomorrow, just now, we look at today, at this moment. What is the feeling in this moment? What is the body sensation in this moment? What is the thought process in the moment, without changing anything? What is the experience in this moment? Feeling in this moment? We can randomly pick anything where our attention can rest for a moment. So if you like, you can pick your heart. Feel your heart. Feel how each in-breath is expanding this experience, and in that expansion it already changes. Feel how each out-breath is a letting go inside. And then we can use any feeling, any sensation, any experience as a doorway. The experience happens through the senses. When the senses move out to the object of the sensory experience, we lose ourselves. Object. When we allow the senses to be a door inward, we are naturally drawn to the infinite. We can try this, for example, with the heart. Allowing breath to be a letting go inside. Allowing each in-breath to be an expression of the experience of this moment. And like this, we can say we gently melt or fall through every layer of experience inward, through the layer of thought. Thoughts are like clouds in the sky. Through the layers of feeling, another layer of clouds. Through the layer of body sensations. Through the layer of breath. Breath is an experience of coming and going. Through the layer of heartbeat. Heartbeat continues. Until we come to a place deeper than all experience. No more place, no more location. No more objective qualities. No more experience, because we are deeper than all experience. Rest here for a while. This mysterious isness can never be described, and yet I am that which is deeper than all experience. Allow each out-breath to take you even deeper, endlessly. drink the silence. Absorb this peace. Feel the space. Perhaps the subtle joy for no reason, just for being. Is created here. Everything just is. Here we are free. Here, this room and the space we share, even with the friends around the world, is one space, one field. The physicists call it the unified field. Pure potential. Everything is possible from here. Here we discover I have always been this. Now in a moment when we gently come back, just bring with you that quality of eternity, of limitlessness, of peace, of love. It's all there. It's all here. It always has been here. So you can gently take a deeper breath, becoming aware of this body again that sits here. Maybe a little stretch, a little movement, till you find a good moment to open your eyes to a new moment here. Very good. Now we could sit here for the rest of, but also I want to give a chance to anything that wants to be shared or asked here in this round present. And of course, if there's anything that you want to share, if you're online, please write it down. Our friend Steve is here and will be able to read it to us. Any sharing, any question, any doubt, any wondering, it's all welcome. Come. Hey, Udi.
It's not so much a question, but an observation. Because last week I went to the dentist and had nitrous oxide with the big tooth thing. And I was always really strange about Osho's time with, he wrote a book and used nitrous. So, and I've had it before, but it was really amazing to be so in your awareness with everything else happening. And it was such a great experience because the whole day, it just drifted my whole day in total kind of semi-emptiness, Everything else dropped away. So,
semi-emptiness?
It was interesting. It wasn't like, just kind of I just sat on the couch for like 3 hours.
Great.
So it made me wonder about going back and finding that book. I think it was Diary of a Madman.
Notes of a Madman. Yeah.
Because at the time I used to think that it was really a weird thing to do to get into nitrous oxide, but I just had this total wow. So I got to go back again next week.
Oh, good. So now you can look forward to the dentist.
I'm going to ask for it again, yes, because it's been something that's really kind of been a good insight to exactly what you're talking about too. And a kind of a re-awareness of Osho being kind of why it was possibly he was into it,
Yeah. I mean, this is probably for some of us has been the first glimpse of something beyond the mind through, I don't know, through ganja or through mushrooms or through LSD or through drugs. No?
When I was a teenager in Queensland, we used to walk through cow paddocks, 5 or 6 of us, and whoever.
Collect.
No, whatever you ran into walking, this is what you had to eat. So some people would only eat one, some people would eat 5, so it was pretty wild.
Wow.
Luckily, that's all behind me.
Yeah. I think, for some of us it was a good entry point to begin actually to recognize, wow, there is something that is way beyond the learned person, the learned personality, the conditioned habits, the behavior. And it is so readily available, even without. But sometimes these drugs help to kind of remind, wow, yeah, it's possible.
That there's an alternative way of consciousness, yes. That you're not stuck in this certain reality.
Yeah.
So anyway,
thank you.
Not really a very spiritual.
No, we're not here to be spiritual. We're just here to be. Yeah.
Just check your phone's connected to this Wi-Fi, because it's dropping in and out, people are saying.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Thank you. I'm just going to check something here. Is it on?
It says broadcast interrupted.
This is paused, hold on, I'll refresh.
Yeah, it's on.
Yeah, it's good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. There's always something with this technology, no? And thanks God we are beyond technology. Consciousness has so many forms to express itself. But thank you for the input. Just now, when we're sitting here, what I shared before the meditation. Perhaps some of us can feel that which is right behind the story of or the mind. It's like when I'm sitting here, and if I would describe it. It's like a tender being held by existence. Just tune into that possibility, even though it's if it's only the mind that tries to copy it. Sometimes that's even helpful. Or just notice we are actually there is this body, and there is the thoughts, and there is the words that you hear maybe. And everything is already held. So in moments of silence, this is very easy. But even in turmoil, even in strong activity, even in some discussions, there is a field that holds all experience. But because it's always here, we overlook it, and we don't recognize that this is actually our true identity. Actually, it's not an identity, it's who we are. And now when the mind remembers this in any situation, then the mind can support us for its own dissolution. For example, you're upset and you remember, oh, even my upsetness is wonderfully held in this moment. Yeah. Or like Udi with his tooth, like with a little bit of nitro gas. you realize, wow, it's okay. It may be painful for the physical body as a sensation, but it is held in tenderness. And if there is any end to fear, that's the end of fear. Because when fear is held in tenderness, when Mukam drives home tonight, and she's afraid of driving in the night, just feel the fear held in tenderness. It wants to drive with you. Mm-hmm. Mm. Mm. Any? Come. Hey, Kavita.
Hey, Rahasya. Are you laughing?
I'm enjoying you being here. I'm enjoying looking at you.
I wanted to share something.
Go ahead.
Because I was walking today with a friend on the beach, and she was saying how she has this incredible pain in the body, and how it just is impossible. This is her words. It's impossible. The attention is she's with Muji. She said the attention is really pulled into this bodily pain. So I said, look, I don't often have that. So I said, I can't comment. I don't know. And I came in here tonight and I sat down, and I was in so much pain, like my back, my neck. And so tired, and then the meditation, the attention, I could understand what she was saying, because when I was first sitting down, my attention, the attention was going to this pain, and then throughout the meditation, as the attention sort of fell behind or before anything.
I like the before.
Before, it's before, I feel, not behind, but before anything. I didn't notice this. There wasn't a noticing until, and then, I had to cough and I didn't want to make a noise, and so I gently picked my bottle up and take a sip of the water, so ever so tenderly and caringly for this body and also the room. And then anyway, at the end of the meditation, I'm so wide awake. I'm just fully here. There's no pain, no tiredness, and this recognition that somehow when attention is just here, maybe there is pain in the body and there's no attention on it. maybe there is tiredness of the body, maybe there, but it just felt like a really beautiful miracle of, wow, when I'm just fully here, just here, and then you say, as what? It's actually nothing at all.
No.
Nothing at all. Like, but it's so, the word you used is so beautiful. It's so tender.
It's very tender.
So just, and it's like a little bit shy to look at all the people, because it's like easy to be so tender with a dog or with alone, but just to notice that.
How about this dog? I mean,
now I'm a dog.
Yeah, anything. It doesn't matter what you call
It's
yourself.
not a good idea when a man calls a woman a dog.
It's not so charming, but
No.
no, but you know what I mean. You know,
do.
it's this. I mean, that which we are can so incredibly hold. I mean, you describe it so beautiful, no? And I think what you said is really important. Is, do we have a choice? Often we don't have a choice, but the little choice we have is when we are aware of a struggle, that then we can take our attention a little closer to before the struggle. You call it before, I like that.
I think it's like this thing about choice is really, for me, or here, it's like I'm here.
Yeah.
Just, life is happening, I'm responding. As what? There's not even the question of that, because it's just happening.
Yeah.
And then a trigger happens, something happens, whether it's a pain in the body or an emotional thing, someone says something, whatever. And what's been discovered here is that the choice is whether I grasp that trigger.
Exactly.
If it's seen and just acknowledged and accepted and not indulged in or talked about or any of those things, if there's no attention, and there is that choice of like or to grab it.
Yeah, can you relate to that? It's like I think that's a really important piece. And what is important is, you said, if it is seen. If it's not seen, we are in the grip of the unconscious.
Well, then there's trouble.
Then there's trouble.
But in any moment it can be seen.
But the moment there is trouble, then the trouble is such a good signpost. Hey, where's my attention?
That's what I mean when I say in any moment it can be seen. It doesn't have to be caught.
At the
Of course,
beginning.
at the beginning is nicer.
Yeah.
Rather than 2 weeks into the fight.
Yeah. It's never too late to see. No? Well, you have come a long way, Pavita. A long, long way.
I
That's
think
why.
Pavita's disappearing. That's what's really happening.
Yeah.
But she's still here, there's a part of the mind that doesn't exist, that wants the mind that doesn't exist to fully disappear. Which is like the most ridiculous
We make
thing.
a goal
It's like,
out of everything.
Here's this I that doesn't exist as a person, but another piece of that I wants that bit of the I to go away. I love you, Rahasya.
Yes, I love you too.
I know.
That's why I laughed, and I enjoy you so much, because you have become such a light. It's beautiful. It's so beautiful.
I don't think I became anything.
No, but the light is shining through so
Yeah.
much more. No? If there's any comparison, it's beautiful. You know?
Thank you. Thank you so much.
No, it's true. Can you see this? I mean, those of you who know Pavita, there's something so beautiful happening. So don't look for non-existence. It happens or it doesn't happen. For no self, it happens or it doesn't happen. You see, I personally, since you're not, with Moji, you're not supposed to be a person anymore, but I personally, I love to be a person.
I don't think being a person is the problem.
No, I'm joking.
Okay.
I'm using this as a joke. It's like, it's like this life is, just being alive in this body is such an incredible gift.
What makes you think you're a person in this body? Maybe it's just consciousness experiencing itself through a body.
I have no idea what it is.
Exactly.
I just feel the gratitude of it. No? I don't want to be anything less or more. No? And that is very relaxing. No? Because otherwise we have a kind of a new idea, I should be empty. But I'm so full.
You are. I don't see much of a person there.
Good. Whatever we call it, it doesn't matter.
Exactly.
No?
Exactly.
It's. I think if we can make a conclusion out of this. The moment we remember, I like this when Papaji says, just be quiet, not be quiet and do this and shift your attention and do this and do this. Just be quiet. When we started the satsang today, we were just quiet and everything is here. And everything is already always here. We just overlook it because we're so busy. No? And the beauty of overlooking is that then you can remember. That's the beauty of being a person, so temporarily. Then we can remember that. Or maybe that's all not true. Maybe it's all consciousness.
I think Moji says this beautiful thing. I hope I can get it right. He says, you are that which was before there was anything to remember or anyone who could forget. I don't know if that's what he says, but that's what I just said.
Yeah, that's very good. Make it yours.
So I don't think that's
no,
his
that's
word.
very. That's
different. But
that's a good one. That was very good one.
Did you hear what I said? I can't remember.
It's on record.
You are that which was before anything could be remembered or anyone was there to forget.
That's so true.
And what is that?
I have no idea.
Nothing at all.
I have no idea. No. But my wish is like I don't know if any of you has seen a little bit of this absolute ridiculous debate between the two most powerful people in the world. Yeah, Trump and Joe Biden. That was for me an incredible shock because I thought, my God. No? Imagine these. At least one of these guys would drop into presence. That would be a statement. No? Instead, they're like 2 10-year-old boys, kind
10?
of, or 5.
Yeah, most.
Yeah.
Donald Trump's got COVID.
No, I didn't know. I just heard tonight. I don't know if it's a new rumor, but anyway, it doesn't matter. I think it's more what we do with our mind about this. But it's wow, something really needs to happen. We need to wake up. If the world has the most power, I mean, it's the most powerful position in the world, given to 5-year-old kids.
Dysfunctional 5-year-old kids.
Abusing each other. No? Can you imagine if Trump and Joe Biden could recognize that they are tenderly held in the arms of existence? I think it wouldn't interest them so much, but I think it's fantastic that these things are broadcasted now. So you know, the projection thing that we have can totally collapse because this is so nonsensical. It all has its own function. And maybe it's also just arrogant of me talking about it, thinking I know better. No, I don't know better, but I just sense that sitting...
No, I don't think so. I think you do know better about that.
About that, maybe. Sitting in presence, taking responsibility for your inner state. I mean, the most basic human ways of interacting.
I think what we don't know is the play of consciousness and the play of God or grace, whatever you want to call it, and how it's rearranging the whole thing in each moment. That's what we really don't know. But in terms of knowing when a being is actually being abusive or dysfunctional, of course there are higher places.
There are definitely higher places.
100%.
You know, in ancient times, you know, I'm doing this online training for conscious living, these videos, and in the moment I reached the crown chakra, and I'm trying to kind of say the right things about the crown, and it reminded me that, you know, in ancient times, the kings and the queens had a crown. You know? And what does it mean? The crown chakra is open to the wisdom of the universe. So the ancient kings and queens were basically the wisest people in the country that were connected to the beyond, that have left their personality and have become a vehicle of the divine consciousness moving through them for the benefit of their people. That is the function of a crown.
Beautiful.
Can you imagine? That would be, I mean, that's kind of, could be something, no? That our new kings would be empty. Our new presidents would be empty. Our guides would be empty. But why project it on them? Why not be empty ourselves? That's what we are here for.
I should go back to my chair and give someone else some space to sit with you.
Yeah.
Now.
But our poor Steve shakes his head. Nobody wants to talk to us, not even around the world.
What to do? That's a good sign.
I think it's a good sign.
It's a really good sign. You put everybody into silence.
Yeah.
And they're saying thank you for the deep rest.
There you go.
Thank you for the deep rest, yes.
We're therapists. We want people with problems.
I think that is one that we need to leave behind.
Yeah, I'm joking, but
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
shit, there's no question.
There's no question, no problem.
Nothing to solve.
We can just sit in silence.
I shall go.
You shall go?
There.
Yeah, you cannot go anywhere. You're always here.
That's
you know?
true. That's true.
So as you like, you can go or you can sit here.
It's comfortable here. It's much more comfortable here than there, I can tell you.
Shall we listen a little bit to Osho, that he takes us again into a let go? Did you like that the last times? I heard last time it wasn't so audible, so I'm going to put the microphone near the speaker. For those of you who haven't been in a let go, like that was 30 years ago that in his last year, Osho, after every discourse, he told a bad joke. Then we were doing gibberish. And then he was guiding us into our true nature. No? We didn't, at least I didn't recognize it at the time, that that's all there is. I thought, okay, this sounds like, when he says, at this moment you're all Buddhas, I said, yeah, haha, how many years more I need to seek. But actually he was right. At this moment we were all Buddhas. So today it's more relevant, and maybe today we hear it more, or at least I hear it more in its essence, that it's totally true. The moment we recognize ourselves as the pure witness, and when he says, witness, you're not the body, witness, you're not the mind, witness, you're not the subtle bodies either. Witness that you're only a witness and nothing else. Which means you're even a witness to witnessing. This is an important one. Moji points this very much, but I remember very, very strongly when Osho gave us a definition of what enlightenment could be, is when awareness or consciousness that we are becomes conscious of itself, because there's nothing else appearing in the empty mirror anymore. Now, that doesn't need time. Right now, we are witnessing whatever we are witnessing. And then when we just step a little step closer inward, we come to a place where everything of form that has been witnessed can be left outside. Until there's no form, no object, no experience anymore to be witnessed. Then the witness witnesses itself. Now, language doesn't work here anymore. Then the drop falls into the ocean. Does that need time? No, it's right here, right now. Close your eyes and really follow it. Let it be a pointer to your deepest place inside.
Be silent. Close your eyes and feel your body to be completely frozen. This is the right moment to look inwards. Gather your whole life energy, your total consciousness, and with an urgency, as if this is going to be your last moment, rush towards the center of your being, faster and faster. As you come closer, you are coming closer to your Buddha. A little more, a little more. Deeper you go, greater becomes the silence. The moment you reach to the center, you have touched eternity. This moment, Gautam the Buddha auditorium is full of 10,000 Buddhas. The only quality the Buddha had is witnessing. Witness that you are not the body. Witness that you are not the mind. Witness that you are not the astral or the subtle bodies. Witness that you are only the witness and nothing else. This is your purest consciousness. This is your awakening. To make your witnessing deeper, Nivedana, relax, let go, but remain centered. A great ecstasy is showering. You will find yourself drunk. It is being drunk with the divine. Slowly, slowly, you start melting like ice. And the Buddha auditorium becomes an ocean of pure consciousness, without any ripple. You are the most blessed people in the world because nobody is looking inwards. Nobody is trying to find his ultimate source. This will transform your very life. This will give you a new clarity about everything. This will make you an individual with absolute freedom from all fetters, prisons, religions, nations, races. This will make you the citizen of the cosmos. The whole world is yours. The whole existence rejoices in your meditation. Before Nivedana calls you back, collect as much experiencing as you can. The joy, the blissfulness, the benediction, the great matter of being one with the whole, and persuade the Buddha to come along with you. He has to become your very heartbeat, your very breathing. He has to be always present in you. He is there but hidden deep, far deep. He has to be brought closer and closer. So soon every word that you speak comes from Him. Every silence is His silence. Every gesture is His gesture. The day all your songs are His and all your dances are His is the greatest day of your millions of lives. Nivedana, come back, but come back as Buddhas, with the same grace, the same beauty, the same silence, and sit down for a few moments. Just to recollect where you have been, what space you have traveled in, what golden path you have moved on, and what you have brought with you from the new space, a new birth, a resurrection. Remember it. Meditation is a death and a resurrection.
Yes. Remember it. dying to whatever we know. That's a really amazing thing. And resurrecting to whatever is here. And you will find, at least I find, I hope you also find, but you will find that more and more you become aware of your thoughts or your beliefs, and you already know, you have a little smile inside because you know they are not true. That hardly anything that the mind creates is not bad or good, it's just not true. And in that discovery, it takes us back to the, what Osho called the witnessing, which is just space. And in this regard, then we are not a person, we are just space with a body. Who knows where that takes us? Thank you for tonight. Thank you for being here. Thank you for joining us around the world. Namaste. And yes, after full moon, rest. Be quiet. It's not bad when the energy is a little lower. I tell that to you, I tell that to me, because I went surfing and I only went surfing for half an hour because I was just too tired. It was so nice to just stop and sit in the sun. Stop and sit in the sun. Thank you. Have a cup of tea also if you like. And we see you next Friday. Thank you.